Hello everybody, it's Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I'm just sharing to some of the groups to let people know I'm on, and hopefully some will come join us. We're going to do part 2 of Nina Ribina's masterboards, and I've put a link to her part 1 and her part 2 in the description box. Hi Zoe. So what I've got out, these are the ones that I've done, and the smaller ones here are just on the dividers from the cat food. And what I did is I did like Nina does, and once she gets the paint, just the strictly getting paint down, I went a little bit farther on some of these than she did, but basically part 1 is just get different paints on there. Not necessarily any stamping or any of that, just backgrounds of paint. So that's what these are. And then I did some on acrylic paper. And it's just from a paper pad. This one's done with Sharpies and just a little paint. I thought they turned out. I did 2 like that. And then these were done with just scraping paint. And then I used a balloon and stuff. This one I really like how it is, but I'm going to continue. So I have a whole selection of masterboards to pull from. This one screams Christmas so bad, it's not even funny. So what I've done, the part 2 is basically stencils. You can use rubber stamps. I've just pulled some things out of my bag of stuff. I've got an old sewing spool, tape roll. This is from tape as well. This is an old hot pad I chopped up, a flip-flop, because it makes like this little brick pattern. And something I was going to note just real quick is if you look at flip-flops, depending on where you get them, they'll have a different design on the bottom. So look at the flip-flops and check and see if there's a design, that you might like to have. You can chop these up and have smaller pieces. I just left this one intact because this gives me a handle so I don't get my fingers in paint. This is just a scrubby sponge from the Dollar Tree. And this is another little, I almost call this a jar opener because, you could put it on and open a jar with it. But I think it was made for something else, maybe a coaster. And then just bubble wrap out of packaging. So what I'm going to do is just add stuff to the ones I've got paint on. I wish I had something to just chunk all this stuff in. Hang on. Let me look around. Here we go. I'll just use the box lid off from the envelopes. That way I can corral this stuff in place. I think we'll start with some raindrops. We'll add some raindrops on some of these. So hi, Kathy. Scott just left for work. So now I'm free to play. And what she did on hers, because her backgrounds are kind of like mine and she had a lot of color on there, she tried to just reuse the same colors that were used in the background. But since I have kind of a rainbow, I just picked a selection out of each color family. And I'm just going to use those. And I've got black and white, of course. So let's set those out of the way. I've got wax paper to put my paint on. So I think I'm going to use this turquoise to add some raindrops on some of these. And the good thing about doing more than one at a time is you can set the first one aside to dry while you're working your way back through the stack. That's why I pulled out things. So just Kathy and Zoe and Sharon and Janet so far, but that's okay. Everybody's probably busy, and this is kind of impromptu. And then you just put a little of this and that on each of them and build them up. And then what she does is she scans these in, which I scanned all of all of these backgrounds already without these additions to them. So I can use just the painted part backgrounds if I want to. And basically what you're doing is you're making your own paper. You take this to the printer, or I'm going to see if I can just get copies from Staples online with the scanned images. I don't know if I've never done that, but she does it all the time, and she gets them to print the stuff out on mixed media paper or like photo paper, you know, whatever kind of paper she would like to use. To use in her art. Boy, my brain just walked out on me there for a minute. Sorry, guys. I haven't opened any Happy Mail. I might do some of that in a little bit. That's got some of that blue in the background. I think they all do. I think I'm going to use the these raindrops on all of the cat food ones. I will open it today. I like to open it on camera, so I kind of save everything aside. I might have to turn the air conditioner off because it's blowing and drying my paint out faster than I can use it. See, I'll just add a little bit and set it aside, let it dry. And after you add each little thing, it starts looking really, really interesting. And she's working on just one background to show you how to do it. But I had all of this cardboard, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do a bunch of them and make my own paper pad up that way. And maybe I could get some copies made and use them for random giveaways and send people backgrounds that they could use to make cards or whatever. I thought that would be a fun thing to do. I think Gina sells her some of her backgrounds. She's had fabric made out of her, leggings made out of her art, which I thought was really cool. She mentioned to me that I should be scanning stuff and using it one time. I think she's probably right. I'd love to have some fabric made, but boy, is it expensive. Now this one only has the blue as outlines, so I'm not going to go too crazy with this here. And I'm not making sure it's straight either. And I should have brought a pan of water that I could throw the stencils in. All right. Set that aside. I'm going to keep the blue for some of these, but use a different stencil. I don't want to use any of this blue on that one. Could use it on this one. I don't want to on that one. For that one, I might use it on this, and that might use it up. I'm going to grab a different stencil. I had a bunch of 12 by 12 stencils that I hardly ever used, so I just chopped them up so I could use them smaller. Thank you, Janet. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Barbara. Yeah, it's 2:20 here, Barbara, but good morning to you, sister. Inktober. Oh, yeah, I printed off the list for Inktober, but I haven't thought about actually doing it. I've been doing it the last couple years, and when it gets to the end of the month, I get so sick of doing it that I have the last 2 or 3 prompts from the last 2 or 3 years still waiting to be done. Isn't that awful? I'm no good at long-term commitments except marriage. I can do a marriage for a long time. I just can't. Maybe that's why I can't do anything else long-term. I put all my energy into a happy marriage. I'm just being silly. But this just looked like so much fun, and I love to just listen to Nina talk. Nina Ribena. And her art is always so pretty. I'm just setting them aside. I'm not throwing them in the trash or anything. All right. Let's pull some purple out. I've already used that one, so let's set it aside. I'm going to have to soak these stencils because it's going to dry on them. I think I'll use this purple. I got postcards from Journey and Mary. Thanks, Janet. You don't follow the Inktober prompts? I didn't last year, but the year before I did. So I printed them off, and this was my idea for this year is if I liked the prompt, I would do it. If I didn't, I would do my own thing. And that way, if I wake up and I just want to do whatever, is on the list, I'll do it. But if I'm feeling more creative than what their prompt gives me, I'll do my own thing. Who was it? Was it Chelsea that did a whole month of little witches? And it was so stinking cute. I think it was Shell. I'm pretty sure it was Shell. I loved all her little witches. They were so cute. All right. I'm going to use this on here. I did bring water to throw the sponges in. And Nina is all about layering up. She puts a whole bunch of stamping and stenciling on. So that's what I'm going to do and see what I end up with. Slide this under here. Got to do this here. Yeah, I'm horrible about hanging with it. If you've worked anywhere for any number of years, when you get to where you're retired or like me, returned home body, you don't want to meet deadlines and do all that stuff. This was a stencil I got from Saw Crafters before she closed down. I really like this stencil. It's all these little wigglies. Hello's kind of just getting faded away, but it'll be all right. Oh, that'll be cool, Kathy. You'll have to share them in the group. That would be awesome. It was so funny on Nina's part too. She said she pulled out florals and all this stuff, and she ended up using just circles on her piece. But you know, sometimes that's just how it works out. I don't know if you guys can see the little swirly bits, kinda. I'm gonna get some more of this yellow. I made the mistake one day of going over to is it Stamp Girl? Uses, no, who am I thinking? Carolyn Doobie. She gets me in stencil trouble if I watch her too much. She has so many cool stencils in her collection. I have enough stencils. That's what I need to tell my brain. You have enough. You don't need any more. This needs some down here. I'm going to put some yellow on this one because it's got yellow on it. It'll break up. The ones like this that look like circles, this is the ones I did with just the balloon here. And that would be like, if I used that now and dipped it in, all these colors would pull off like on a jelly plate, but it would be on a balloon instead. That could be interesting. I might do that on one of them, but use white paint, see what I get. Maybe we can take this away from it looking so Christmas. Boy, when I scanned it in and it came up on the screen for editing, it was like, wow, that is screaming Christmas. I'm not ready for Christmas. We went in Hobby Lobby and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The only thing I've been eyeing is which Santa will I get to add to my collection this year, because I collect the woodland Santas. I'm trying to stick with the smaller ones because I don't really have anywhere to put them right now. And all right. I'm going to go back to the ones I had at the beginning and add some of these swirls on some of them to use this paint up. Uh-oh, that didn't do too good. Let's see if I can see chat. Yay, Mary's making her gloves. Cool. I need to make some more of those. I'm going to make some for the little ones and then have some for the sister-in-laws made up. If they want them, they can choose them. That's something I need to do, is work on my gifts for those that I see impromptu over Christmas, so they can reach into the, I'll just have a tub with me and they can just pick something out that I've made. I think that's easier than trying to have a specific gift for every single person in the family. If I just have some things made up ahead, like gloves or dishcloths and stuff, and just have them wrapped in plastic where they can see what it is, and they can just choose what they'd like to have. use some of this green. I'll switch to another stencil. Let's use this one. I love this stencil, and I can never remember the name of it. Yay! I'm so glad you joined in with the fingerless gloves. They're really easy to make, and Jada makes it a lot of really interesting patterns. If you're a crocheter, Jada has great ones. Can't remember her channel name right now for the life of me. It's just not there. I think my brain is off doing its own thing some today. I'm getting a weird color because this sponge had the blue and the purple on it, and it's mixing with this color and making a really weird thing. But it's all about the layering, so I'm not worried about it. You can always go back over anything. I just want to get something on each one here. Let's do this. Woo! Wow. I need to make gloves, I guess. I'm kind of liking this one before I added anything to it, but I'm not gonna go crazy if I don't like it at the end. You can always add more and make it look better all over again. It's that ugly stage in between that we all know will happen. I might throw that one in the water and just get this. Stuck my finger in the paint. I think I'm done with that stencil. All right, do we have another stencil? We do. The last stencil I pulled out was this one. This is one of those that was in I think a 4-pack at Michael's when I worked there. I think it was their brand of stencils that was actually in the scrapbook department for some reason instead of with the crafts. But they don't sell these anymore, I don't think. I haven't been to Michael's now in quite a while. The last time I went in, I don't know. Especially the one I used to work at. Nobody I worked with is still there. But that's the nature of retail, you know. It's a turnover business. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, Mary, that's what I was just thinking. I bet it was hand spun yarn. And we all know that's a job. I hurt my back doing that. I haven't picked it back up since either. I need to get enough made up that Lisa sent that I could turn it into something. I'm thinking a fun and funky slouch hat would be fun out of that I've made up. This cardboard is harder to stencil because it wants to bounce. But I have so enjoyed seeing everybody's progress that's doing these that I thought, well, it could be fun to just go on and share part of the progress or process. All right. Let's see. I've got this dark blue, and since I've got purple on here already, I think I'm going to put some blue down here. Yes, I am. I am going to put it down here. Oh, there we go. This is ultramarine blue. I see the chat moving again. I'll have to look real quick. And these are drying, faster than I can finish with one, which is perfect because then I can just go on to the next layer and not worry about it. I think I got too much paint and there's a blob under there. It's going to be a messy blob. But I can come back over with something with black or white later and fix it. It's not too bad. That looks pretty good. Okay. That one needs something else, but not that blue. That blue is strong. I shouldn't have put so much of that blue out, but it was not wanting to come out. Have I missed anybody coming in? Hi, Nettie. And another thing that Nina was talking about is if you make these and you want to, you can blow them up and have them printed larger. And she had some printed on both sides so that she could use them for journal covers, which I thought was a really, really cool idea. This is kind of like how I do envelopes. I put the paint down and then I'll stencil on it. And that's how the envelopes I mail you guys happen. I was thinking I have some manila envelopes that I was thinking for something different. I might just do black and white Zentangle on them. And then I could leave the address area, just open. And I could do those with just a marker and a gel pen. And they could turn out pretty cool too. So I might do some of those this afternoon. It's clouding up, like we might actually get some rain, which we need badly. We haven't had rain in months. We had a little sprinkle. I'll take that back. We had a little sprinkle just the other day, but it wasn't enough to do anything. I might put some of that dark blue on here. And use this up here. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm done with the sponges because everything else I'm going to dip into paint. I'm going to take these stencils to the kitchen and throw them in a sink of water. And then I'll be right back. We'll start using some of the stuff out of my drawer of stuff. What I was just thinking, I probably should have kept a card out, so I'll grab a card real quick. And these are probably all drying up, and I could get them where I can reach them again. Because it doesn't matter if paint gets on the back, because I'm not gonna. She keeps hers and then just has more copies made, which I think is a really cool idea to do. All right. So what should we use first? Let's see. Let's put some big circles around and maybe put some of those around too. And then I have these. So everything I have that's makes circles is there. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Arlene. Yes, Nettie, I want fall too. I'm ready for it. Anytime it wants to come on, it is currently, let me see if this is in Greenville or down at our house where my son lives, it's 99 degrees. At least that's what it's saying on this. Yep, 98.6. It feels like it's 105.2. And then up here in Greenville, it is 93.2, feels like 99.1. So we're all kind of hiding out still. And we have not been, it might come back to bite us, but we haven't been too in a rush to get the fuel situation dealt with. But, like I said, that may come back to nip us in the bud. All right, I'm just going to set that aside. Might use this way. Right. And that I don't dry it off or try to clean it. Oh, I stuck my finger in the red paint. Let's see if we can get this to pick up. See, it never picks up that middle bit for me. There's a little bit picking up, not much. Let's try that again with this here. Then I need to put foam underneath it. And then Janet says, maybe you need to put a mouse pad under it. Let me grab my foam. Let's try that again. There we go. That does better. Yeah, I saw where they're getting snow in Nevada, I think. Is that it? And Montana got snow. I like those kind of wagon wheel things. The good thing about this is I've got two sides to choose from. Scott and I took Bernadette and we went to Paris Mountain yesterday, and we had to pay to get in, and we didn't even stay long because Bernadette's old, but we still had to pay the full price to get in, which was crazy. Basically $10 for the two of us to get in there and just go for a short little walk with the dog. She's old and she can't go that far anymore. But she still likes to go. She just can't go very far. I need another one with some red in it. That's got some red. But let's do something else. Let's try this one again. And that one even works better with the foam underneath. Uh-oh, stuck my finger in the paint. That one kind of reminds me of a postal cancellation circle, doesn't it? Okay. All right, so that's those. I couldn't believe how many of these I had made up. I got on a roll. I was having a good time doing all of these. I'm going to just set these back in my box. I think I'll fold this over. I'm going to use this back side for a while. Okay. Let's use this now. And oh, Nettie, that's awesome. So Barbara, you're right on the coast out there? I'm not on the coast, but I'm near a coastline. My brother and his wife went down and had some fun at the beach this week. He's been having to drive down there anyway to put fuel in a generator. He works with, when there's an emergency, he goes into the areas and does that kind of, fueling generators and that kind of stuff. You loving the red? This color I'm using now is cadmium orange. I kind of just grabbed whatever this morning. I figure if I limit myself to these colors I have here, I'll put some yellow in with that. Too much yellow. Let's move a little of that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Boy, I've got a lot of that. This is that thing I said looks like a jar opener. I don't really need this under there anymore. This one needs some other colors. It's still so yellow and orange, but I just keep reaching for the yellow and orange, which is unnatural for me because I really don't care for those colors too much. I don't know why. I just never have been a real yellowy person. All right. I have a mess and a half here. Put some of these dots on here. Oh, all right, Samantha, good luck at the doctor. I think I'm done with yellow and orange and red. So I'm going to pull them out and just use the other colors. This one still feels like Christmas to me. I'll fold this over again. All right, put this back in here. Okay, I'm going to put some white down. That tear is throwing. Hi, Susan. Hi, Violet. Whoops. Zoe, have you been doing any art lately? Oops. This one's getting really old, and I'm trying to use them up. Might have to let some of that green come out with it. Let's use the flip-flop. Let's spread it around some. See, it's chunky. Chunky bits. Oh, that's not really where I wanted it to go. It's all right. Still got some yellow in there. Oh, I scraped an egg out there for a minute. All right. I ought to go looking for flip-flops now because they'll be on clearance. There must be a bad storm coming because all of the workers are taking off out here. I haven't seen Tippy today, and he was acting really weird last night, so I don't know. He'll turn up. Let's do something else. Use my scrubby thing. This doesn't put a lot of paint down. It just does these little dots. But that can be interesting. See how it puts the little dots? Well, Susan, you need to get on the ball, do some art. You know what this reminds me of? That fabric. What's it called? Seersucker. That's got the little bubbles on it. Can I get one more use out of this by folding it in half again? So I'm not going to do any of those colors anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. I think after I go through them this time, I'm going to switch and do something else. This I've already used this on. Let's not do that. Oh, these two got ignored. Let's see here. Hi, Chrissy. All right. I got this bubble wrap, but not real sure. I don't like that. This is the one I just worked on. I'm just here to make a mess. Good enough. What do I want to do? See what you guys are saying. I watch a young lady, Susan. Her name is her channel is Fynyth, Fynyth, and she was making spaghetti sauce today, and she made it look a whole lot easier than what I'm used to doing, because she doesn't do any of the dip the tomatoes in the hot water, peel the skin or anything. She just does it all, and then she's got this really cool sieve that you run everything through, and the pulp comes out one side and the saucy stuff comes out the other. So I added it to my wish list. When we get settled and I have a garden again, but I'm not going to buy it now because, yeah, it'd be kind of pointless. Let's get these back up here. It would just be in storage until we get settled. I think I'm going to do some stamping. Or maybe more stenciling. I think I'll do more stenciling with black on top of these. Let me grab some different stencils. I'm going to grab just 3. Let me peek out and see what this is going up the street. Oh, interesting. It's one of those things that has a roller on the front with like these little indentations. I guess it's an aerator or a compactor. I don't know. I need a sponge. I threw all of them in there. Doggone. I bought some patterns off eBay simply because one of them is a shirt I made in high school home ec. Isn't that silly? I might make myself another one. Retro 1982. All right, I'm going to stand these up in front of me and I can just grab one. So I got some chicken wire and I got the Tim Holtz. I think this is called linen. And then I got just this one that's a doily-like thing, which I thought could be really cool on some of these that are really busy. Let's just have some of this peeking in. Let's see if I can keep from making blobs. Maybe some more of it showing on this side. We always get on the subject of food, aren't we crazy? Oh well. Let's see if I can get some of that paint off that stencil. My poor mom, she's so tired. She's been keeping the 3-year-old twins for my brother and his wife because she has to work. My brother has to drive to Charleston every day to do that generator until they get that problem fixed down there. And it's a 3-hour drive down and a 3-hour drive back. Ooh. Don't think I want to, I don't know. Don't think I want to add this stencil to this one. Just move those to the back. Step to the back. I'm not going to put you on here. I need to go back to Mary's video to the very end where she was putting her character together. And I still need to mail the last week's character to, I think you said Holly gets her, because it was Holly's idea. So I need to watch the rest of Mary's Friday Night Live so I can draw that character. I really need to put them in their own little journal. If I remember right, I had 11 backgrounds because I scanned them all in and I think I got up to 11. So there's 11 of these. So now I'll scan them again at this stage. So I'll have 22 different prints basically that I can go and have printed off. So that would make almost a little paper pad, wouldn't it? So if I've got 11 and I pulled out 3 stencils, I could put this stencil on 4 of them. Might do it on just 3. Let's put it on here. I think I've got enough here. I think I'm just going to scrub it on so it'll be lighter. Like so. If I had a baby wipe, I could clean the stencil up and be stenciling with it, but I don't have any baby wipes right now. Because there's still a lot of paint on here that I could move with a baby wipe. This seems to be working just fine. There we go. Thanks, Mary. All right, slide that under there. Some of this gloppy white. Stop. mess that up. Oh, I like that better. Somebody's wanting in. Feline unit. Oh, okay. Baby. You guys, I gotta feed him real quick. He's been gone since last night. Hello, baby. You hungry? Scott said he wished he could strap a camera on Tippy so we could know where he goes. I'm just trying to put this paper up where he doesn't walk on it. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to scan these in to a file. I have a file on my desktop for master boards now. And then what Nina does is she goes to her printer and has them printed off on different kinds of paper, which I thought would be a cool idea because she likes to make her own paper instead of buying paper pads. Not that she never buys a paper pad. I've seen her use other papers, but her papers are so pretty. Thank you. I know I'm going to get gray, but I don't really mind right now. That one doesn't look Christmassy anymore. This one was done with the balloon, but I did it on the side that had the circle where you tie the balloon off, and it made the little O's all over the paper, which I thought looked kind of cool. So you don't have to buy stencils and stuff. If you've got punches, you can make your own stencils by, punching them out of a piece of cardboard or piece of paper. If you use a lighter weight paper, of course, it's not going to hold up, forever, but it'll hold up long enough for you to make something with it. Got so much black left here, black and white. I think I'm just gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna just wrap that up and call that done. I don't like to waste paint, but I'd rather waste it than have a cat paw in it, which is about to happen. So I'm going to bring these back up here and see if I can show them all to you before I get a cat up here. So there's that one and that one. It helps if I don't put my arm in the way, doesn't it? This one. And I will probably do more. Knowing me, I will get the paint pens out and add some more to them. Ooh, Tippy, I'm sorry, honey. I didn't know you were on your way up. Dude, your timing sucks. Where have you been anyway? There's that one. That one looks almost grungy now. And I have some gear. They're not stencils. The opposite of a stencil is a mask. I have some of those. I might put some gears on that one. There's that. Tippy, ow. And I'm going to scan these in once I'm done fiddling with them. So they'll be in my file that I can have printed off. Scott says we're low on magenta right now and something else. Tippy, stop. I know you're happy to be home, but look at those nails. They're sharp. I think that's it. So thanks, guys. Here's Tippy. You're on. Do a show for them. He's just happy to be home. Thanks, Janet. This is Tippy. He's got something in his tail. Right there. Hold still. Stick tights. You've been over in that field again. I told you not to go over there because that's where the coyotes are. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming in.